I do not have a script for this video, so if my ideas are literally all over the place, let this just be a documented love letter to how scatterbrained I tend to be. But I'm going to be tackling two subjects in this video. One is the weird toxic art competition that happens on the internet, and two is why people don't make more friends. So yeah, my experience with the internet, I don't know if it's unique or really weird or whatever, but for me, with art, ever since I started sharing my art online, I've actually found a bunch of other cool art people, started talking to said art people, and back when Skype was a thing, we used Skype, and now that Discord is a thing, we use Discord. Point being is, I've kind of, for as long as I've been drawing online, always had art friends around. I think that it's been pretty cool because you meet people, they have the same interests as you, and they're not a serial killer. So you're like, hey, cool, we should be friends. So I actually hang out with a lot of my artist friends on the regular. And throughout the years, I've always seen that it is nice to surround yourself with like minded people. Sure, you might not always be talking to your friends online. Sometimes you need days to yourself where you just get in the zone and listen to your music or your podcast, and you just get some drawing done. But on the days where it's a little bit slower, it's just always been nice to kind of sit down, chill, talk with your friends about whatever. You screen share, they screen share, and you kind of just have this whole creative flow going. While it's not as fast or as time efficient, what I found is I'm more willing to get work done. I've always been more consistent just because like the company that you surround yourself with sometimes makes it a little bit easier for you to be drawing. Because if you're surrounded by creative people, you're probably going to want to create something, which is crazy sounding, I know, but that's been the case for me. And I've been really lucky that I've had some art friends, that I have had for years. I got to meet some of them in person. That's really cool. Some of them we had a falling apart. That is unfortunate, but it is the internet and life. So it tends to happen, but I haven't seen any real videos talking about this part and why having like art friends is a benefit. Like you always see collaborations from big name art people or whatever, and that's cool. But for like literally everybody else, I'm like, do people talk to their friends online as much as I do, or am I the weirdo? But I've always seen that as a huge help, which is only half of the subject, because the other half of the subject is if I have art friends and I think that they're really cool, why does the other half of the art community have like this really weird, toxic behavior with each other? What I mean by that, just to elaborate, and I have some examples here, is I have a friend. They are part of a magazine Discord. I won't say for what or any of the details for anonymity, but basically it is a group of a bunch of crazy talented art people, and all you will see is, here's a drawing, okay, bye. And that's it, which is really weird to me because it's like, why are you guys not talking? Like, is there a weird competition going on here? Like, it's weird and standoffish. I know that artists tend to not be the most social creatures on the planet. Maybe I am just the mega weirdo that will rant about things at 2 a.m. when creating a commentary for a video. But I've always found it weird because there are usually two kinds of people that I will see. It's either artist people who are super enthusiastic to see any kind of art progress from anybody. They'll be more interested in your stuff than they are in their own stuff. Like, they'll ask you questions about your stories. They'll be super into your characters. They'll do fan art of your stuff. They're really enthusiastic and supportive, like almost more than you are about your own stuff. And then there's other people which are like weird and competitive. Like you'll ask them like, hey, these are really cool stickers. Where did you make them? And they look at you like that's the most offensive question they've ever been asked. And they're like, well, peon, why would I ever divulge the secrets of art with you? As if I'm going to give you some kind of competitive edge, which I feel is really weird. It's like, look, my guy, I don't even care where you got your stickers. I'm not even going to ask about the shirts or prints now. That's super weird. Because for me, when people ask about that, I've always been really quick to tell them, this is where I get my packing materials. This is where I get my stuff printed. Like, any information that I see as beneficial, I am super willing to share. But some people are like weird and gatekeepy about it. They like feel threatened by you making progress, or they'll be happy for you until you start doing better than them. Like they'll root for you and they'll be happy for you until you start doing better than they do. And then once that happens, there's like a weird tonal shift. They're like, we want you to do good, just not too good. That happened to me in college. That was fun. I had a lot of people that I thought were my friends, and then we had talked about art until they found out that I had a YouTube channel. So while everyone in my grade was trying to learn how to use a drawing tablet for the first time, I was over here being like, broski, I have been using a tablet for 10 years and have made a manga and several speed paints and like probably 1,000 drawings. So kind of that gap in experience, I feel like, made them feel threatened. And initially they were my buddies until they found out just how much time I spent drawing, and then they like hated my soul forever, and I was super confused. So there's things like that, and I'm pretty sure that if anybody does have art friends around, you kind of know what I'm talking about. They're the ones that are genuinely happy for your success, and then there's the ones that feel like weirdly threatened by what you do, and you're like, yo, my guy, like, why are you mad at me? You're not competing with me. Like, the way I see it is kind of like, one, it's us versus the AI, because like authentic human expression compared to AI, like that should be the thing that we're after. And even if you're not going to go down that route, because I don't have the energy to go down the AI route, I kind of see it as like music. People who are music enthusiasts and listen to a lot of music, not like one song over and over again. They can have their favorite band. That is fine. But they have a lot of bands, they have genres. They're just like, nah, dude, I like this thing from this band. I like this album from this band. And this band and this band did a crossover like Linkin Park and Jay-Z. And that was really cool. But my favorite album is still Hybrid Theory from Linkin Park. You're just like, the way I see it with music is there is so much music. There are so many genres that I don't get why people have a sense of exclusivity. Like, oh, it has to be me or that other person, point gun at person and say, pick me, whatever. Like, it's really weird to me. And I don't know if that analogy makes any sense. Like I said, this is my 2 a.m. rambling, but it is just a thing that I wanted to talk about. So I'm actually curious, like, what is your experience with art? Like, do you feel weirdly threatened? Would you feel weirdly threatened if I came up to you and I said, dude, your art is really cool. Who's your inspiration? Or would you be like, yo, dude, this weirdo is, get him away from me? Because like I said, it's like music. I feel like the more art that is around, the more music that is around, that's awesome. Because I follow way too many people on Twitter. I follow so many artists, and every time I find a new artist, it's like a nice little gem that I unearth from the ground. And I'm just like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. It's so amazing. I'm going to add it to my collection, And I'm just like, yes, I will follow you, awesome artist who is a wizard. And I'm always really happy that I found someone new that draws or whatever. But there are people who aren't, and I'm not one of them, and I don't get it. Like, for me, the best thing that you could do online when you have art people around is have art friends. So yeah, I just like, I don't know why I'm making this video. Like, I needed commentary for this speed paint, but just when I was looking through a bunch of topics to talk about, it's just one that's been on my mind, and it's a hard one to organize and properly talk about. But it's just, dude, why do some artists get threatened by other artists? Like, in my case, I just see it as like, hey, more variety, the better. But clearly that's just my way of thinking about things. I'm sure that you have your way of thinking about things, but I just kind of wanted to start a conversation on this. And I might do a follow-up to this video, kind of just addressing different points, because I am not the devil's advocate. I do not understand other people and do not pretend to. This is just my 2 cents on the subject. But yeah, that being said, I hope any of this made any sense. I hope you liked the drawing, or at least had something pretty to look at. And this is just my little shameless plug here, saying that, yeah, my commissions are still open if you want to get one. I will be trying to upload to YouTube a bit more and as consistently as I can, but some of my art is a little too spicy for YouTube. So if you want to see what I'm actually up to, I'll just put my Twitter in the description too. But yeah, that's it. Bye-bye.